And things are going well. Got a week into camp now, and we have a lot returning. We return 8 starters on each side of the football, so a lot of experience, and it's shown in this first week. I think the older guys have led well, and the young guys picking up what we're all about here at Grove City College football. Yeah, definitely the first thing to note offensively, we returned 4 of 5 linemen and 2 fullbacks that were starters a year ago. Vinny Lepre anchors that group, the first team all-conference guy, and he's our captain and leader of that group, but a lot of experience around him. Dylan Lane, Nate Brady, Brady Brungard all return as starters. Dalton Four has really solidified his spot on the starting unit of our offensive line, so really excited with the experience there. And then Rob Tamburino and Mason Muir, 2 fullbacks, and we always link them with our O-line because we consider, they're like having 2 extra offensive linemen on the field, the way they, how physical and how they block. So a lot of game experience with that crew, and it definitely anchors what we're going to be doing on offense this season. Yeah, to have Clayton Parrish and Nico Flatty back is really important to our run game. It was neat. Both of them were in their first full fall starting last year. Obviously, Nico as a freshman, and then Clayton started in our shortened spring season, but it was his first fall. And we felt by mid-season we had a 1-2 punch as good as any in this conference. And Nico suffered an injury late in the year and missed our final few games, but up until then was having an amazing freshman season. And then Clayton was ranked towards the top of the conference in multiple statistics, even towards the top of the country in multiple statistics last season with scoring and rushing touchdowns. So to have that 1-2 punch back is behind that offensive line are going to be keys for us to continue our offensive success. Yeah, Logan Pfeiffer, a sophomore, who last year as a freshman, it was really great. He got to sit behind Josh East, and it's important to sit behind a 4-year starter who understands this offense and what we try to do, especially in our pass game. He learned a lot, and he has a strong arm. I mean, he can make every single throw on the field, and we're out there at practice this week. Sometimes I'll just sit there and just amazing some of the places he's able to fit the football into, and very smart as well. We're able to put a lot on him, and I think his biggest attribute is he's going to be able to spread the football around to many targets, which is going to be important for us with our receiving core as well. Yeah, Scott Frazier started last year as a sophomore, and to be honest, he was great last year, but he may have as big of a jump as anybody as far as improvement. I mean, he is looking like a true number 1 receiver right now, and we've had guys like Cameron Drake, Cody Gustafson, and he looks like a guy who we believe could be towards one of the top receivers in this conference, and exciting the leadership role he has taken, and Ryan Heckathorn in our slot as well. He really added another dimension to our offense last year. We utilized this throw into our slot receiver a lot more, and just with the quarterback we have and Ryan returning, I think we're going to be able to do a lot more in the pass game. And then Josh Gregory has really stepped up. Ryan Lenhart, Andrew Coffey, some other guys who were freshmen last year, rising sophomores. They're all 6'3" or bigger, and are able to do a lot of things to present challenges in the pass game because of their size and physicality. And you definitely see a big jump with those guys from freshman to sophomore year. So a big and exciting receiving core that we have. James Fereni anchors our defensive line, and a captain. He's been on the field for 4 years, and he's our nose, and just the leadership he brings, and just his ability to do what you need a nose to do, which is eat up blocks and make plays, and James does that for us. We also returned Bryce Spoltnick, who started last year as a freshman, and you see a big jump from him from freshman to sophomore year, and he was really good a season ago. Kobe Bonanno, another guy to look out for. I mean, we lose one of our 3 starters on that D-line, and he stepped up to be repping with that first unit right now. So excited about what we have returning, and then the opportunities for guys like Kobe to step in and contribute in a big way. Yeah, our linebacking core, maybe the most experienced unit that I've ever had here. I mean, in the middle, you return 2 4-year starters, Parker Kilgore and Curtis Fryermuth, who have been making plays for us in so many big games and bowl games over the last several seasons. And to have that much experience in the heart of your defense at middle linebacker is so important. And you see that with just how quickly our defense is progressing through camp. And then Ryan Fleming, who was towards the top of the conference, led the league in sacks for a big portion of last season. And just to have his playmaking ability, and there's a freshman, Ben Bladel that just has really opened a lot of eyes in camp, and we saw that throughout the recruiting process, and he's certainly going to factor in a big way with that unit. So safety-wise, Nick Grabiak, 4-year starter, he plays our safety position that looks like an outside linebacker quite a bit in our defense. So we return him, as our field safety who matches up a lot with slot receivers, and so it's neat to see just him leading that group. And Gabe Dunlap at corner, returning starter, started last year as a freshman, did all of our returning duties. And Trevor Beck, who can really play anywhere. I mean, he can really play, we feel, any of the 5 positions, because we consider ourselves 3 safeties, 2 corners. He can play any of the 5. And just exciting to have him back, and we may use him in some different ways this year. Also in that group, Cole DiFilippo, Dom Maglico, guys that Jack Steinmetz, those guys, both Dom and Cole at safety, Jack at corner, Andrew Mason at corner, just a lot of guys who are competing for those other open 2 spots, and we feel comfortable with the options, a lot of different options that we have in our secondary. It's neat to have a guy step in the defensive coordinator role who's been with the program since the 2015 season, really. I mean, his time through this program, jumping from student coach to an entry-level coach to our full-time position, and then up to a defensive coordinator. And biggest thing, he knows what we're all about. We talk vision, process, love all the time, and we have that for the program, but we also have that for each unit. And our defensive unit last year was top 2 in the conference in total defense and scoring defense, and he understands the vision that got us there and the process in which our defense has to operate to stay there. So to have a guy with the experience of what we need to do and how we need to operate to continue the body of work that we've built on the defensive side of the football, just very excited for our defense to have a guy with that experience, but also for him as he, I know, is ready to step into this role as coordinating our defensive unit. Yeah, as we go now to the special teams unit, it's always a good thing when I think I start with every unit about how much experience we have back, and that's no different for our special teams. Nick Morrow, 4-year starter kicker, who we've won a lot of close games over the last 4 years, and how much points that he's put on the board have played in those games. So excited to have that experience back, along with Jared Custer, our punter returns, and the statistics where we finished in punting last year and what he was able to do, just such a threat and flip field position. So we have him back with our punting duties. And CJ Otwell, our long snapper, he's been a multi-year starter as well. So, those 3 individuals will certainly be anchoring our special teams unit. Yeah, the first thing for us, the way we've built this program, is truly running the football and stopping the run. I think offensively are key. When you return 4 or 5 offensive linemen, both fullbacks, 2 running backs, certainly the ability to run the football is going to be the key for us to set the tone, and then to make impact or explosive plays in the pass game. And with a quarterback who has just a very strong arm and big athletic receivers on the outside, I think the keys for us offensively is to do what you've seen in the last several years from us, run the football and be able to make big plays down the field in the pass game. Defensively, it's just the flip side of that. We were the number 6 run defense in the country last year. We have to continue that while eliminating explosive plays in the past. And then special teams, just field position. Our special teams coordinator, Bill Brest, first thing he talks about every meeting is field position, establishing and changing field position. So, if we're able to run the football, make big plays down the field in the pass, stop the run, eliminate the explosives defensively, and then win the field position battle special teams, and we're going to be in position to compete at a high level in a very, very challenging conference. And we're excited for the competition that the Pac's going to have this season. Yeah, I've been associated either with my brother being here or me playing in it or coaching in it, the President's Athletic Conference for almost over 20 years now, really. And I feel like the conference is as strong as ever, if not stronger than ever. And when we look at our league right now, we had co-champions last year in Carnegie Mellon and Westminster, and both of them return a lot of their key players from those teams. And then Washington and Jefferson, who's just a storied program, who is always towards the top of this conference. And Case Western, who in 2019 won the league, and they returned their 4-year starting quarterback. And a lot of teams that have new coaches and just the excitement there. I mean, this league is as competitive as there is, I feel, when you look at how many teams towards the top of the league preseason are in contention for that conference championship. it's as competitive as any in the country from that standpoint. So it should be an exciting year, and each game, each week is going to play huge implications on who ends up winning the Pac title. So we're looking forward for a great season in the President's Athletic Conference.